Hunter Biden, Joe Biden. Let's have a talk about the state of the presidency as we currently sit here. And we'll get to the election implications of all this in a little bit. Just Hunter Biden's so dirty and Joe Biden's so dirty, and it's so well known by now that I think we're kind of missing some things because we're too close to it. And this is what I mean. Think about how this looks for America internationally. Who's the head of a nation you like? Are there any heads of any nation you like? But let's say president of Germany, the German head of state. The German head of state, if his son was currently being indicted on multiple felonies, tax evasion, trying to write off prostitutes, drugs, illegal firearm purchases, that's something that would be lampooned right here in the United States of America. Yet, that's happening here. The Biden family is terrible. And let's talk about something before we get into the actual charges, too. I know you're going to think I'm getting soft. I promise I'm not. Hunter Biden needs to go to prison. That's fine. You do almost have to feel a little bit sorry for Hunter Biden, though. What a tragic tale it is. You remember, we've talked about this before on the show, you remember Joe Biden about to be sworn into Congress, gets in a terrible wreck. People die, it's awful. Hunter Biden is injured. No, a broken arm. I believe the injuries were more severe, but Hunter Biden is injured, and he's a small child at the time, a little boy, 4 or 5 years old, I believe. He's really, really small. And Joe Biden decides he's going to use his son's injury. His son, imagine your son, your baby boy, injured. He decides he's going to use it to help his political career. And Joe Biden, with the option to be sworn in Congress or sworn in the hall of the hospital, demands that his swearing in be held in the hospital room where his baby boy laid injured. And not only that, he forced him. There's pictures available. You can go look it up right now. Hunter Biden was wearing a suit. He forced his freshly injured son to dress up for a photo op because it would help his political career as he got sworn into Congress. Now, we look now, Hunter Biden was in his 50s, and we see a disaster. Look, $1.4 million in missing taxes. He made $7 million, $1.4 million in missing taxes. He's writing off things like prostitutes and pornography. We know about the drug addiction problem, crack. Crack. He's hooked on crack. We look at the disaster of Hunter Biden now, and it's easy to throw snowballs at him, and I do all the time. That's fair. I'm not telling you not to. But man alive, with an evil father like Joe Biden, he really never stood a chance. If your dad looks at you as nothing more than a political prop, what chance do you have? And so what's the latest on all this stuff? You remember David Weiss. He was the guy who was investigating Hunter Biden, supposed to be bringing charges originally, except David Weiss is a card-carrying member of the system. So what he tried to do, he tried to get Hunter Biden off scot-free, essentially. They tried to bring a deal to a judge that said, okay, Hunter did some stuff, he did these things, and that's really bad, but hey, here's what we recommend. It's a little slap on the wrist. And oh, by the way, any future charges, he's immune from that too. They tried to basically get him kind of a blanket immunity, slap on the wrist type deal. The judge sees the deal. The judge is reading the deal, freaks out and says, what is this? Tosses the thing out. Well, then this thing got really public. Then this thing got national. So Merrick Garland has to appoint a special counsel so he doesn't look biased. And of course, he takes the guy who just tried to get Hunter Biden a sweetheart deal and makes him the special counsel. David Weiss is now the special counsel, except now there's a situation here. Now, David Weiss can't get a sweetheart deal like that again. Now everyone's watching. Now you got caught. Now you got to play it straight. You ever sit at the dinner table when you were a child? Mom's forcing you to eat your peas, and for a while you're kind of sneaking them to the dog under the table, maybe wadding them up in your napkin, and it's going well for a while, but then, boom, mom walks in just as soon as you're feeding the dog a handful of peas, and then you're busted. And now she's standing there and she's watching. No, you're eating your peas. Now you got to eat the peas. Now Hunter Biden's got to go down. What's this mean for Joe? Well, here's Hunter.
They're trying to destroy a presidency. And so it's not about me. What they're trying to do is they're trying to kill me, knowing that it will be a pain greater than my father could be able to handle. And so therefore destroying a presidency in that way.
Well, I didn't know Hunter Biden was such a fan of the show. How long have I been telling you that? I think the powers that be are tired of Joe Biden, frustrated with him, and I think this entire thing is a coordinated effort to get Joe Biden to resign. The system wants Joe Biden gone. And it's not at all because of the economy or his failures or something like that, or the fact that Joe Biden can't talk.
The idea, if you were driving your automobile here and you left in the key in the parking lot, you left the key in the ignition, and a kid came up and jumped in and stole it, and they got in a crash, you're liable civilly. Why in God's name do people not have to lock up their firearms? Why is that not a requirement? All these mass murders, not this weekend, but have been because people have picked up, kids have grabbed stuff off of counters, off of their, anyway, I don't want to get angry. We need to ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines.
It's not actually because of that stuff. It's because Joe Biden's unpopular. The system doesn't care about his stumbles and fumbles. The system certainly doesn't care about inflation. They don't care that you're sitting there in the grocery aisle horrified at the cost of a pound of burger. They really don't care about that because they don't care about you. They do very much care about themselves, and they care about power, and they want to hang on to it. And they're looking at approval ratings, and they're awful. They're abysmal. Joe Biden may be the least popular president in the history of the United States of America. Well, the system doesn't just hand back power. Oh, well, guys, we tried. No, the system needs him to leave so they can bring in somebody who will be slightly more popular, right? And look, it's not just me. It's not just hardcore anti-communist Jesse. You have card-carrying libs like this Charlemagne guy calling for him to go.
I know he thinks he's got this in the bag, but the polls say otherwise. I want Biden stepping in to beat Trump the way I want him stepping in to defend me at a bar fight. I appreciate you caring, but I don't like our chances. The facts are Biden's not getting any younger. He's not going to get any more popular, and he's not getting a new running mate. So please, Mr. President, give America the ultimate Christmas gift and step aside.
Ouch. Not only did he say that, he said that to a live studio audience full of Democrats. And did you hear how it was received? Did you hear any boos? Did you even hear any groans? Oh, no, that's mean. No, what you heard was, yeah, get rid of him. And so how do you do that, though? How do you get rid of Joe Biden? Well, you know what my theory is and what my theory has always been. They're going to use Hunter Biden's charges as leverage to get rid of Joe. Hey, Joe, we'll cut him another little sweetheart deal, a couple years in prison, something like that, but you got to go. And in comes Gavin Newsom. Just a theory.